Happy New Year, welcome to 2018. We're going to have a quick run through of a few of the things I want to get done this year, a few kind of New Year sort of resolutions, and hopefully a little update on what's going on. So I'll keep it short and sharp this video, but it is going to be a little bit more about kind of chatting through some ideas rather than full-on DIY action. But bear with us because there's a few things that I think are going to kind of interest various different people. Our subscriber base follows an odd course because we've kind of got one group who are here for one thing and another for another. So we try and keep everyone happy, but there are certain things that we really need to get done. One of those is to just snag the whole house. We've gone from room to room, and the trouble with being on YouTube and creating content for YouTube is that once we've finished a video series or a video on a particular project, it's very hard to then make another video on something very similar. So I've done the stair renovation and I've done 2 sections of it. There's actually another whole section which I still need to do, but I'll need to do that off camera because it's just going to be the same old. But the priority for this first kind of week or 2 of the year is to get some of the rest of the house done, where we've just kind of moved on from rooms, and that's one of our specialities. We literally just kind of get 90% there with a room and then we move on to another project. So we're going to stay strong with ourselves, and this year we're not going to leave a project until it is 100% signed off and we're happy with it. Here on the top floor in the loft is a perfect example. There's probably about a day or so just finishing off all the various things in here. We've also got another Velux window to fit. That's something I will make a video on. But there's just kind of trim to do, snagging to do, little bits of painting. I might just make one video just kind of covering all those bits. Now, time to make some promises that I hope I don't regret. Number 1, we are going to get back on the van project. I know loads of you came to the channel for that. It's not the priority all the time to get that done. It's more of a luxury than a necessity, but we do intend to have it done this spring, so it's completed. I've got lots of the parts lined up, lots of the materials lined up, and we pretty much know what we're going to do. It's just a time restraint, so we're going to hit the ground running on that in the next couple of weeks. There's also a camp of subscribers who are holding out for the workshop build. That is really, it is in the pipeline and it is coming, but it's going to come in 2 varieties. We're going to have the Mark 1 workshop, which is going to be a kind of a refurb renovation of our current garage. And that's where I kind of do any of the woodwork videos you see now. It's a mess, it's unsafe, barely any electrics, and it just needs a low cost but well thought out approach to get it up and running. Mark 2 is going to be a completely rethought idea for our main workshop building. Not sure how many more angles of the office up here I can give you without showing the mess that's on my desk and on the floor. About that, we've got our office clown is in here now. So, the workshop, complete rethink on it really. We had prepared the ground for a concrete pour. A couple of reasons why we're not going to go with that. We could do it in the future, but it's going to be quite pricey to do it that way and need reinforcement and things like that. What I want to do, as always, is to make everything future-proof. We have spoken about in the past, Joe and I, about bringing our driveway around the back of the house to that point. That's exactly where the workshop is. We could also kind of extend back off that existing garage and attach and kind of envelop that into the house. So I don't want to stick a big concrete slab there with a permanent building. But I do want to stick to the sort of proportions of the 6 metre by 4 metre building I've planned. So my crazy harebrained idea for the workshop now is to build an IKEA flat pack workshop. I'm thinking about constructing it in modular sections, which are basically timber frame with cladding and a kind of an OSB lining. A bit like a kind of a timber frame house that you see, which are made off site. So I'm going to build that in the garage in 2.4 metre sections, and the whole thing will be on a timber raised floor, and then it'll all go together in one weekend. The benefit being that if we needed to move it in the future, it could literally be taken apart in a similar amount of time relocated and put back up again. Or indeed, if we aren't in this house forever, we could take it with us. So it kind of just gives us a little bit more flexibility. I was looking forward to using the sit panels and doing it on the concrete pad, but change of plan, and this is, I think, a good way to go. My run down here from the top floor, you will have seen a couple of things which need to be done. The top stairs needs to be finished, the landing carpet needs to be laid, the hallway on the ground floor, the Victorian tiles need to be stripped back, cleaned, regrouted and finished. Then coming to the back door needs to be completely reglazed and painted. The back porch needs to be torn down because it's absolutely lethal, and I've mentioned that so many times I can't believe it's still standing. And then yesterday's storm ripped off the roof off the playhouse, which is another video which I haven't put out, but the playhouse got a little refurb late summer and it's now up on its own decking and it's all good, but the roof ripped off. So repair work as well. Okay, out in that gloomy workshop, so kind of, you know what this is, it's just that old garage space which is where that project's going to lie. I think we're going to put a new roof on here as well, and we'll build the workshop in here, the Mark II workshop. We'll move it out onto the foundation area, and then this room will be kind of converted into a utility area. And if we do have the time and budget, I might, once it's re-roofed and dry, then make this into kind of a play area for the kids. It could be a kind of games room for now, but it also leaves it future-proof should it need to be a garage again. 2 skills I want to teach myself or learn this year. First is leather work. I've got a side, I think it's a side, or a side of hide of leather, which is sat ready for, I want to build myself a leather apron, or make myself a leather apron. So Joe bought me this kit, kind of an inexpensive basic kit of all the things I probably will need to do this leather work. Stuff for stitching leather, cutting leather, half of it I don't even know what it is yet, but it's going to be a nice thing to learn and another skill to have. So that's going to be one of my things. I also want to start some more projects with metal work, whether that means starting welding or just kind of doing a little bit more metal fabrication. I think that's going to be a good thing to learn, especially when it comes to construction metal work, whether it's building workbenches and things. Wood is great, and I really enjoy working with wood, but there is a little element of working wood and steel together which can just give some really strong results, and also some kind of bit more unique looking stuff. So that's another thing to look out for. As we got the Christmas present box out, I'll show you a few more things I picked up over Christmas. Wow, it's terrible lighting out here. Gardening gloves. This is a dust cyclone. It's kind of a small version of it, but basically it will turn our shop vac into a little bit more of a dust extractor system. This will be attached to a drum of some sort, and the shop vac goes in and comes out the other side, and it still goes through its own filter, but 90% of the stuff will drop into the drum before it even gets there. The filter lasts longer, and it means we don't have to empty it quite so often. Speed square, never had one, always wanted one. This is a metric one, which seemed to be like hen's teeth to come by. It's a Swanson one, which I think is the good gear. But my sister-in-law got me that, so thank you. Combination square as well, from Naomi. So that's a longer version of what I've already got, but that's going to be great for when we do the workshop and all the sort of timber framing. So Joe's family asked me for a wish list, which I sent them, and one of the things I asked for was a cabinet scraper, and they were a little underwhelmed to be wrapping this up. It really is just what it looks like, a piece of metal, but that's going to be good for finishing some woodworking projects. But yeah, not the most exciting looking present. And of course, a generic Screwfix gift card. Can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
What was I gonna say?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That phone call actually leads to the next point, which is The washing machine, tumble dryer, freezer are out here in the end of the garage. It's freezing cold at night. It's slippy steps to get down here. It's just a mess and the roof leaks. So I need to put some stud walling up in here, separate that, replace the floor, and just make it a little bit more homely on a serious budget. You might think doing the washing is such a simple task, but I've really upped the game here. To do the washing in this house, you need to, first of all, work out how to unlock the back door because it's very tricky. Come down some slippery steps underneath the glass shards of the dangerous porch. You come down those steps, work your way into this building where it's quite often well, it's probably about 3 or 4 degrees maximum. The boiler just keeps it above freezing. And then you have to kneel down on a relatively cold, wet floor whilst, when it's raining, it's really nice when it's raining, it's quite refreshing. You end up, there's 3 kind of holes from old fixings in this roof. They drip down and quite often will refresh your back as you load the tumble dryer. Most of this needs to be done in pretty much darkness or by head torch because only until recently has the light above me worked. Now you get the idea why me just going out and jumping on that van project again doesn't go down too well. So I'll start the workshop project in its own video, but just to give you a little bit of an insight into why it's needed. Well, you can see for yourself it's not tidy, but that's just generally my nature. But the roof itself is a 50-60-year-old asbestos roof, so that needs to be taken off. Also structural things here. The wall sunk over this side because of a drain issue in the past, and that's cracked there. Things have moved around up here. You kind of get the idea, it's just not a good place to be right now. The garage door is also not secure. Things are rotten. The courier drove into this before Christmas and broke that, and then this is all rotten. The whole thing is on counterbalance weights, which rather than just being sensible garage weights, they kind of span across the ceiling on different pulleys and somehow end up over here where there is a bizarre sort of tractor weight or something, which is a counterbalance which drops to the floor when you open the garage. It works, it's well balanced, but it's not safe, and it kind of drops down onto the tools and not good. We've also got the Juggernaut, which is the accumulator tank for our heating. That'll need to be boxed in. This time of year, although it's well insulated, there's still heat loss from it. So I think I'll build a insulated box to keep that all nice and cozy. So I said I'd keep it short and sharp. I failed to do that, but at least you can get an idea of what might be coming up soon. And we haven't done the giveaway yet, which we promised we would do. This is your kind of last chance, so head back to that video, give us a comment, and we'll be selecting the winner of that. Probably tomorrow. We're going off in the van tomorrow to pick up some furniture, which Joe's just bought on eBay, so we'll kind of do it on the road, I think. We're going to pick the winner, and then we'll send that out. So let me know what you're looking forward to most. There's a whole host of other things I haven't even mentioned, but I just thought of another one. One of the projects that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks is a fish tank project. I've got all the bits for it. It's going to be quite a unique build and could be an interesting one. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But let me know what you're looking forward to most. I think that's it. So remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.